Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. My name is Mike Marshall. I'm on the product and sales team over here at Benzinga. A special guest is here with me today. I'll let him introduce himself right after I show you guys how to register for the platform and go ahead and get signed in. So if you guys go to this URL right up here, if you guys have not had a trial, you guys can do so right here. Even if you have had a trial, you can go ahead and sign up. I'm also going to share with you guys an email address. If you cannot get in, feel free to shoot an email over to that email address and he will get you all set up. You guys see right here with the URL to register. After you register, all you got to do is go to log in. And once you're in, your screen will look like this. Without further ado, I would like to kick it over to our special guest today, who is going to be dropping a little knowledge on us about some of the news that broke today. So Luke, if you wouldn't mind, will you introduce yourself?
Yep. Yeah, my name is Luke. I get to handle operations and product over here at Benzinga. So I was excited to be able to get on and talk about some of these cool things we're doing, some of these big stories. You know, today we had ADP break, the big Ackman presentation. You had Chapman on CNBC Live going against him while Ackman's on stage. You know, very, very exciting topic to be able to discuss.
Excellent. So what you guys should see here is the homepage. And I'm just going to go ahead and let Luke take it from here. And I'll be watching for questions as well as any other things that come in through the chat.
Yep. All right, guys. Happy to hop in here. I know that a couple of you are in here to talk about the market volatility with politics, which we are going to get into that a little bit. But we had a ton of requests come in to cover this ADP Ackman story. So we're going to be we'll start off there and then get into some of the global event stuff. You know, and like Mike said, if you want to go ahead and hop on so you can follow along, that's great. If not, you'll be able to watch our screen, you know, and follow through me talking. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm a big news junkie. I love this story. I love all the, you know, the big hedge funds, the whales going after each other. So Ackman goes on stage today. He's doing his ADP presentation. We go ahead and pull it up, and the stock finishes the day down 6%. You know, that shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be a time where you've got, you know, one of the more known names in finance, you know, doing a 3-4 hour long presentation. I think it was 88 slides. He's on stage selling the stock, and the stock actually closes down 6%. This is rare. This is a special story. You know, so I'm so glad that you guys were asking us to dig into this one a little bit. So I am going to go ahead and take you through exactly what happened. I'm going to move my news feed over to the right. We'll follow along with the chart, or the left, and we'll follow along with the chart on the right. I'm going to plug in ADP so we can dive right into exactly what happened.
Go ahead and turn off that scrolling ticker at the bottom just so it isn't slowing anything down.
Yep, I can do that.
And we're going to be kind of blowing through some of these features. So if anyone wants a deeper dive into the Benzinga Pro platform and a little more lessons on kind of how to leverage it for different ways, I would happily do that. Feel free to shoot us over a note and we can schedule either a one-on-one or another time where we can kind of do a little more digging into the platform.
Cool. All right. So the story starts on July 27th. I'm looking at the news feed of ADP right here. We take it over to July 27th. You know, that is this big green, where am I? Sorry, guys. July, oh, I'm on Apple. That's why the candle doesn't match up. There we go. All right, now we got it. All right, July 27th, we got this big green candle. Couple things going on. You've got earnings coming out. And then you've got Ackman, Pershing Square. It leaks that he is taking a position in the stock. The stock's up 10%. I mean, that is a big move. This is a $53 billion company that we're talking about. So they added, $5 billion in market cap. That's some serious volume. We've got the news is out on Ackman, Pershing Square. You got Spruce Point jumping in there. You get a couple blocks that hit off. Each of these blocks are decent size. They're $30 million blocks. So it looks like people are excited. There's energy around this Ackman story. I personally was thinking bullishly about this stock. We all know he does his research as much as he's been out of favor in a handful of his picks, in recent times. Let's keep skipping along here. We've got some big options trades hitting. Somebody's taking a position in the stock. We've got Evercore upgrading the stock. Morgan Stanley comes in on the other side, downgrades it. But let's keep it to the Ackman story. So we've got on August 4th, I think is the date we're looking at here. Yep. On August 4th, the ADP comes out with a statement that says that Ackman wants board control. He essentially wants to take half of the board, and then also he's got 8% of the company. Again, pretty big bet there. One of my favorite headlines from the day, Baird comes out and says that Ackman's desire to take control of the company puts a risk or a dent in his credibility. Clearly a very controversial call. We go forward a couple of days to August 7th. You got Cooperman, Leon Cooperman, obviously a huge name, huge whale, very well respected. On CNBC Live calls Ackman foolish. So this is where it really starts sounding like Herbalife to me. You've got the kid on the block that everybody makes fun of or isn't a fan of. And then you've got the other managers are already starting to come out. We had the little Baird note. We got Cooperman on TV calling him foolish. Cooperman was a board member of ADP for a long time, so he clearly has got insight into the stock. All right, let's keep going. It gets even deeper. We've got ADP. I gotta find where the CEO comes on. I believe we're maybe back a couple days. So we got the ADP. There we go. August 10th. ADP CEO comes on to CNBC. He's saying Ackman doesn't know what he's talking about. He's bragging about the performance of his company. Again, so similar to Herbalife. I mean, when we're talking about Herbalife, Ackman and Herbalife really went to war to the point that Herbalife, the organization, owns websites with the sole intent of ruining Ackman's credibility. I've not seen anything like that before. I think it's called The Truth on Ackman. It talks about his other failures. J.C. Penney, for example, probably Borders is in there. And then Ackman comes out. He's buying websites to go back and forth at HLF. This one with the ADP CEO going on TV to call him out. It reminds me of we had the Herbalife executive saying America would be better without Bill Ackman after Ackman says that America will be better without Herbalife. It's great. There's some big boys going at it. All right, let's keep going.
So as a trader, as an investor, say I have a position in ADP, what would you suggest? In the past 30 days, what should my thought process be? Should I be, exiting the position? Should I be trying to buy some more up, taking options? What are your thoughts?
There's so much room to trade these headlines. Like I said, it's a $53 billion company. It's a thick stock. There's plenty of liquidity if you're trying to, to play around in their intraday. I've got my news feed, my Benzinga Pro news feed up on the left. So it's all this information that I'm reading off as we're going through and telling the story comes out in real time. So there's a lot of room to capture some of that volatility and have fun with the name while you're making money laughing.
Absolutely. And Luke, I know you did get us a handful of different images. I want to be able to utilize those. So when you are ready for them, just let us know and we'll make sure to get them up on the screen. Might take just a minute if you're out there following along. So please bear with us, and we're just going to make sure that you guys are getting the full scoop.
Yeah. The images will be fun. I got screenshots from Ackman's 4-hour-long presentation today. All right, so we're getting close to it. You're pushing me along. I'll cut to the chase. All right, here's where it gets really scary. Maybe if you're long ADP. So yesterday, the 16th. Ackman says that he's doing a presentation on why he's long ADP. You would think that if you own a stock and you've got one of the more notable names on Wall Street doing a presentation about why he's long the stock's going to be up on the day. The stock closes down. Not flat. I mean, definitively down after you got a huge name saying that he's going to do a presentation, and he does research in these presentations. I mean, it's nothing that he's just slapping together. So all right, let's cut to the chase today. Today is the day of the presentation. The stock closes the day down 6%. Again, it's a $53 billion stock. There's no other news. There's no catalyst. It's like there's any guidance. There's not news on peers. It was this presentation caused the stock to sell off 6%. And here's why. Here's what's crazy about it is it sounded like he was doing a short presentation. It was the same tone. It was, it felt so similar to his Herbalife presentation. If you remember, when he was doing Herbalife, he was announcing his short position. He's on CNBC beforehand. He's saying America is better off without Herbalife. He's saying this is the most important presentation in my career. The stock might not open tomorrow. There was a lot of energy, a lot of negativity aimed at that company. And that's how this presentation felt. I think a lot of it, if I had to speculate, is because he wants control of the company. He's trying to get those board seats. But again, I mean, he did such a good job, bringing out that short position or explaining why shareholders should vote him into the role where he can take over control of the company that it actually caused the stock to sell off. So let's get into the presentation a little bit. What is he talking about? He did a really, really good job of making me not trust their products. I mean, they spent a ton of time on technology, talking about how their technology is tied together with shoestrings and bubblegum, saying it's these big monolithic systems. They can't hire any employees. I mean, these are not things that, is a quick in and out. I'm going to pull up the daily chart, right, or the minute chart, so we can just look at the day. Let's zoom back to this morning. He started at 9, right? His presentation started at 9, so before the open. And right around when it starts selling off is when he's getting into saying these things like, that they can't hire any developers. Their technology is slapped together. They may have made some pretty graphics on the front end, but the whole thing's going to fall apart on the back end. I mean, these are not simple things to fix. These are things that normal shareholders, other fund managers don't, have the knowledge on. They said they did, I think, 88 interviews with former and current employees. So they know what they're talking about, but they really brought these issues to the forefront. So great. I'm thinking about trading the stock. Great. I'm glad they brought it to the forefront. And if we go and scroll through the news feed, we'll be able to see in there, a lot of these things that he highlighted today. The news desk was publishing them as they were developing. But these are not quick problems to solve. Benzinga, we're, a significantly smaller company. Tech is huge as what we do. We wouldn't be able to break so many stories, get so much information to people without technology. But even with the infrastructure that we have moving, quickly, if he wants this to be a 1 or 2 year turnaround, it's not an easy transformation to do. Mike, could you pull up a couple of the images that I have?
Yes, absolutely. Give me 1 second here.
So I've got a couple images that share sort of the similar sentiment as to what I'm saying.
Could this be one?
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead and pull it in. All right. So let's look at this first one that we have that Ackman pulls up during his presentation. It's data from Glassdoor. Glassdoor, the website where you can go on and review your jobs. You can talk about how much you like or don't like your job. And his whole point is, there's 10 minutes on this slide, is that they've got pretty much the worst Glassdoor in the industry. It's a horrible culture. So, he's long the stock. He doesn't want there to be a bad culture. If you want to, generate, money, you want to generate activity, you got to have people motivated with you. You got to get stuff going. And he's just railing the employees, saying they have mediocre engineers. They wouldn't recommend any of their friends to work here. Great. If that's true and he can turn that around, I mean, that's wonderful. That is not a quick change when you're a company with, let's go to the next one, 143 office locations. So when he's talking about, that there's so much consolidation they can do, by basically automating the business and not having, so much hands-on contact. I mean, they've got 143 offices right now. So now, it's sort of like, okay, I mean, he's a brilliant man. I strongly, agree or believe that he's right on with the long term. But saying that they've got shit tech or, horrible technology, they need to start automating everything, and that they need to close these offices. I mean, this is, sounds to me like a multi-year turnaround. And so the fact that he's bringing a lot of these issues to light, let's go back to the minute chart over on Benzinga Pro. The fact that he's bringing so many of these issues to light, and the solutions, which seem like sound solutions, are going to take years and years to implement. I mean, it puts a lot of risk into that name, in my opinion. I hope that he's successful. I mean, the presentation was great. There was obviously a ton of research, like there is in every Ackman presentation. But I think, a couple of those things highlight, why the stock sold off as he's going through it.
Excellent. Luke, really appreciate it. So I guess, I know our news desk was definitely talking about like the sentiment that they were pulling off, which is very similar to what you're saying. But, how could this be, Ackman almost playing us? Could it be sold off a lot of these shares before?
I don't think so. It's possible. I think, I heard that or maybe saw that on Twitter. I don't know if it was facetious or not. But it would be very, very tough for him to do that. The amount of volume that he would need to move, he's got 8% of the company. A lot of it's in derivatives, would be tough. And then two, thinking about his position, it would hurt the credibility. Obviously he's got to go out and raise money and maintain a book. So I don't think that's the case.
Excellent. And then right here on Benzinga Pro, I believe we could pull up Ackman's entire portfolio, couldn't we?
Yes, we can. And look at this, Mike. We while we were talking, we got a 1 million share block coming through. So that's at $100. So that is what? That's a $104 million block. That's some size.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and type in Pershing Square.
So with that, who would you look at as a buyer in that? That obviously couldn't be a day trader, correct?
Correct. Yeah. That block is institutions talking to each other. It's hard to say, with where that block was priced at, whether somebody was trying to get into or out of the name. But obviously there was some sort of fund interest. I love blocks because they show intent, they show interest in a name, and clearly, somebody really wanted those shares or really wanted to unload them. And Mike, I've got up on the screen now a list of all of Ackman's positions per his 13F, which I think just came out probably 3 or 4 days ago.
Now, what does the red on that screen mean?
Yeah, so the red. So tickers are in Benzinga Pro are either red, green, or white. Red indicates the stock is down for the day. A quick reference of price.
Okay. So it looks like, I guess you said a little bit about Bill Ackman does a lot of his homework before giving these type of presentations. But, I guess over the past, I would say, really since the Herbalife scandal, which has been probably about 8 months ago, and I call it a scandal just because of the kids bickering at each other back and forth, I don't think I've really heard him really taking too many positive positions.
Yeah. I mean, he had Chipotle. I don't know off the top of my head when that was. Let me pull it up real quick. So we got CMG, we've got Ackman. Let's see.
Oh, wow. So you can combine keywords for a keyword search right here, huh?
Correct. Let's see. So it looks like the first headlines on Ackman getting into Chipotle were right around the end of 2016. And I actually don't know how that position is done for him so far. I know there's been headlines on Chipotle. So here's it's another tough run for looking back to November. Probably these some of these big candles are probably when he started getting involved. That was a nice run to $500, but that headline risk, I think they had another food scare or something along those lines. But that's tough.
And Luke, I'm going to really challenge your knowledge base here. And since we talked a little bit about Herbalife, there's been a lot of news around Herbalife. Could you kind of give us a little update on kind of some of the things that you're hearing from some of the analysts and kind of what they're expecting to play out over in China?
So again, so that's a nice win for Ackman. His Herbalife thesis all along, as we know, is that the stock is a pyramid scheme. Again, that's where he's going on TV saying America will be better off without Herbalife. This is the most important presentation I've done in my life, and he's highly convicted in the name. I mean, he's been in this name for a long time, and got some good news this week. Authorities in China, I believe, said that Herbalife can no longer recruit there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this headline up in a second. There we go, HLF.
And appreciate that question, William, about Herbalife. Really appreciate it. Keep them coming.
All right, so let's see. Down, Bill Bishop. Yeah, so look at that. We pull it up in Benzinga Pro. Yeah. The stock gets smacked, and then boom, there's the news. Chinese crackdown on some of these multi-level marketing, schemes. So interesting news there on Herbalife. And while we're on Herbalife too, I want to pull out I think one of the craziest things from the presentation today. And again, this did not help the price of ADP is, Ackman's on stage. I mean, it's a long presentation. It's a 4-hour long presentation. So he's on stage. He's still going. I think it's in the Q&A section. And then Bill Chapman, again, another very, very famous name on Wall Street, hops on stage or calls into CNBC and says that he's short the stock. So imagine that. So you're doing a 4-hour long presentation. You got 6 months of research, and then another fund manager calls into TV and says he's short the stock. I pulled out a couple quotes. He's from Chapman. He said, he prefers quality over quantity of research compared to Ackman. He's telling Ackman to take a step back. And then closes his segment by saying you can put together a 4,000-page PowerPoint and a 20-page Excel sheet. But ditch those and get back to the basics. So again, we can look towards, I think it was maybe around noon or so, when Chapman comes on, it was this next leg down for the stock. But again, overall, a tough day in that name.
And I see some chats coming in. It looks like Bob Chapman definitely loves trading around Ackman.
Yes. So Bob Chapman goes back to the Herbalife days. We're thinking back to Herbalife, and this is when Herbalife got so exciting. Is Ackman's long the stock. He does this presentation. He's so convicted. Herbalife will never might not open again after his presentation. He's putting his company out of business. Very, very shortly after, Carl Icahn, says he's long the stock. Wants to squeeze him out of it. So these guys are betting billions against each other. They do a 20-minute segment on CNBC where they're calling each other school children. It's getting very personal. They're cussing on TV. I mean, there was a dip in volume, in market trading volume during that segment because people were glued to the TV watching it. Those are the two big names. Chapman was in there as well, trading around the position. I believe. I think he was long it at some point, shorted at other points. Clearly it appears that there's something personal with Ackman. When Chapman dialed into CNBC today during Ackman's presentation, they asked him, how much of this is personal versus you just wanting to take a good name in the stock, and he skirted away from the question. So yeah, a lot of interesting things going on.
Excellent. And I mean, I'm sure that these type of things happen more than it is even reported.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're reporting on this one. I mean, it's big, but it does happen. But again, I mean, we're covering this today because there's so much interest in this. This doesn't happen. This isn't normal. I mean, these are some of the cool, fun equity stories that are going to stir up some volatility. They've got egos involved. They got names involved. I mean, who knows? I mean, if there could be funds pulled out of Pershing Square if his investors are watching this presentation or they're prepared for it. The stock closes down 6%. I mean, that's not a stroke of confidence. So very, very exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Luke, I can't thank you enough. Loved the knowledge, loved the energy. Is there anything that you'd like to finish here with?
Yeah. I guess I'll wrap it up in like this. I mean, there's a lot of big headlines going on right now. We've got these macroeconomic headlines, these geopolitical headlines, the North Korea news. These things are happening and they're not moving markets a ton. I don't know if it's just people are becoming deaf to them a little bit. There's been so much news and so many headlines. The markets, pretty much continue to plug higher. I know we had a couple weaker days. And so I'd say watch out for this stock. If you need some volatility in your life, you want a thick stock to do it with. You can't do it with the SPY right now. ADP could be an interesting one. I would not be surprised to see other managers coming out and saying that they want to go long the position. Again, I think a lot of that is because Ackman brought to light a lot of things that the world didn't know. I mean, that their technology is in shambles, that they're having a hard time recruiting. That the average person or the average fund manager doesn't know these things. That said, these are long-term solutions.
Excellent. And I believe we got a couple people that joined in late. We did talk about the big block trade that came in after hours. That was, over $150 million of market value traded after the close. So yeah, there's definitely been a lot of movement there in the ADP story. And Doug, appreciate the question. I'm going to chat in a link of how to sign up for the trial. It should be right there. So you can sign up for a free trial and go ahead and get started.
Yeah, guys, I know we were talking heavily about, the story today. Everything I was looking up, I was doing it on the Benzinga Pro. It makes it super easy to grab tickers, search keywords, look at your quotes. So definitely feel free to hop on there. I get to work heavily in products, so I love hearing your feedback. My email address is luke@benzinga.com. So if anybody's interested in getting in there or wants more information, I'm always down to talk stock ideas. I'm always down to talk to traders. Shoot me an email. I'd love to get in touch.
Excellent. And really appreciate everyone joining us. If you have not already, make sure you guys are on the Benzinga Pro platform. There are tons of value that you can play around with. We are doing these webinars once a week, so please stay tuned. One place that you can find all of the signups for the webinars, I will drop that into the chat as well. If anyone else has any other questions, you know, drop them in right now. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up here pretty shortly.
Yep, and again, you know, love to get your feedback on Benzinga Pro. So even if it's, you know, not for you, at least check it out. You know, shoot us some feedback. We love building, we love innovating. Always want to know what we can do better. And again, we are happy to talk stock ideas too.
Excellent. So yeah, really appreciate all of you guys joining us. From the headquarters in Detroit, you know, we're signing out for today, but we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining.